Hi there, friends. This is the B part, or the part 2 of the PiYo progression that I started sharing at home. So make sure that you've done that one first. This is the second portion. You can do this combination by itself, or you can do the first progression by itself, or you can do both together. I'm going to show you the progression as though you were going to do it together, and then I'll talk to you about like how you fit it together if you're trying to do the whole thing, because the whole thing will take you about 12 minutes, and if it's the only work you do all day, it's great for you. Okay, so assuming you've already done part 1, now you're here. I'm gonna have to show you this combination facing frontward and to the side, because there are some things that are just PiYo movement that you've never seen before. This is here. It feels like B+, only I've got flexed toes on the ground instead of pointed ones. Okay, that's where we are right now. And you reach your arms up high above your head, and you reach it up just like that. You reach really, really, really long spine. And then you keep all of that straight like a penché, and you pitch forward with the leg you had up and back coming up behind you. Okay, then you get there. This is 3-legged split. That's not right, Miss Stephanie. This is 3-legged dog. 3-legged dog, or standing split. And I say that because the goal is to have your shoulders square and your head down, but my hips are open. My belly button and my hips are open to, in this case, the stage right. Whew, for me. There you are. And then you come down and you connect. Okay, this is why you need to see this from the side, because you're like, what is she even doing? It's like a 5th position. Connect is like a 5th position grand plie, but you put weight on the legs. You're a little bit released here, okay? But you also want some weight in your hands. Up. We're doing 4 of these, right? And down. And then you roll it all the way up here. Oh, we're doing 4 of each thing. And out to the side, deep lunge. Bring it into the knee. Deep lunge side, knee, this is in parallel. Deep lunge side, knee. Deep lunge side, knee. Keep the knee there. Runner's balance, another reason you're gonna need to see this from the side. And up. And for the second time. This is one of those places where ballet and jazz dancers tend to want to not lean forward, because usually that's what we're being told. But in this case, it's actually way more work if you do. Okay, and then you put it down here, and you reach up, and you start again. So now if I show you that from the side, I'm gonna do the other leg so that I'm balanced. I was trying to make this second video at home as well, but I got thwarted because, making videos at home while your family is also at home with you, sometimes difficult. I know all of you feel me. So now I've got my left foot up and back, the same, like a B+ with flexed toes on the ground, and I reach it all up above here, and then I bend the whole thing, I pitch the whole thing forward and stretch up into 3-legged dog, and then I come down into connect. So you can see, I'm gonna pause here for a moment. I've got a front foot and a back foot. I'm flexed in my knees and in my hips, and then I've got weight here. So I'm not just like tenting here. It's not just like a gentle balance. Actually, I have weight here, and then you press all of it up and out, back up where you started, and down, and up. It's hard for me to remember to take weight into my arms when I come down. So if that's true for you too, you're in good company. I think most dancers are like, oh sure, I'm supposed to be here, right? No, they really want you to be here, so that's upper body work as well. So you do 4 of those, and then you draw yourself up, you step out. I'm not gonna lunge as deeply here because now my mat doesn't go that way. And I'm wearing socks. Long lunge, flat back, whoo. Out, and up. Oh, I lost count. I think that, I don't know if that was 3 or 4, so here, we're gonna call this one 4. Here's runner's balance, okay? So you bend in the supporting knee, And the gesture knee is bent too. This is all in parallel, and you lean forward and hit that place. The more you plie and the more you lean forward, the higher your leg can go in the back there, which is the goal. And up, one more time. This is all in parallel. It takes an enormous amount of control and concentration. Woo, see? To do that, woo. And then you're here, and then you begin again. It takes an enormous amount of concentration and control to do that properly, and it's using all of your deep six abductors, all of those ones that we dancers just always want to work. So that was 4 of each thing. If I were doing this in the progression, I would start, I call this my right because my right leg is the one that's in gesture in the split. I would do that 4 times, 4 of everything, split, connect, split, connect, split, connect, split, connect 4 times, out and in 4 times, and then the runner's balance and up 4 times. Then I would do it again 2 times, and then I would do it again 1 time. And 1 time is a really, really fun, because then it becomes kind of like a contemporary combination, because you get to pitch and down and pull up and fall out, and then back up and press down and stretch it all up, pitch again, 1. So you can really dance it, which is one of the reasons I like this so much. Now, if you're taking 1 and 2 and putting them together, which is how they are offered in a traditional PiYo class, you do sequence 1, which is on the first video. You do it, may God help you. You do it on one side, and then you do this one on the same side. On the same side. So the side, when I did the first video, I was using my right leg as the gesture leg and my left is supporting. So that would mean that when I went on to part number 2, I would start right here with my right leg still in gesture and my left in supporting. Now, I can't actually do that yet. I have to switch legs. You can do that too, right? I want to keep my heart rate up. I want to keep working. I don't want to stop, but the support, this left leg needs to stop being in support for half a second, right? So I do that. But it's designed so that it goes part 1 and part 2 all the way through on one leg. The reason that there's part 1 and part 2 is because you break down part 1, 8 of everything, 4 of everything, 2 of everything, 1 of everything. And then you do, for part 2, you don't do 8. You do 4 of everything, 2 of everything, 1 of everything. And then the very last thing that you do is you do part 1 and part 2 together, 1 of everything. All right? Now, I like to do, my teacher, Christine Blanchard, usually has us do that through 2 times. And I really like that because it's the first time you've really gotten to do the combination, you know, the way that it was intended. This is not dance, but that's what it feels like. And once I figure out how to dance it, then I want to do it a second time. You may do that as well if you're not fried, okay? And then you would start all over again. Side, the second side, part 1. 8 of everything, 4 of everything, 2 of everything, 1 of everything. Part 2, the second side of your body, 4 of everything, 2 of everything, 1 of everything. And then you would go back and you would do on your second side of your body, all of part 1 and all of part 2. So the connection goes in the way the 2 fit together is that the last thing that you do in combination number 1 is you are here, high lunge, and then you press to low lunge. Okay, and then when you're doing just 1, then you come down here, and then you pull through, and that's where the 2 connect. But when you're doing 1 and 2 together, you hit high lunge, you press low, you're not going to low lunge, you're just pressing low, and then you stretch it all up and pitch. Okay, so that's where it goes, that's how the 2 fit together. If you have questions, let me know. I've made this as sort of like an augmentation that you can put on any class. PiYo is a great cross trainer for any class, and I really like this one because you don't put a whole lot of weight in your wrists. So for those of us that have shoulder or wrist problems, this one is mostly legs. And you can see, like in the connect position, where if you do have wrist or shoulder problems, you can put all of your weight in your lower body and spare that okay? So this is meant as an augmentation on any of the days where you're like, gosh, I did my whole bar and I did the stretch like Stephanie asked me to, and I practiced my pirouettes, I did my fouettes, right? I did all of those things, and now is when I would really my heart rate would get really high and I would work because we would go across the floor and do some really big stuff. And that's the one thing that a lot of us can't do at home. I'm gonna make you a series of enhancements, and this is the first one that you can do. That's like, okay, here's my combination in the center that you can work and work and work. And I would love to see you do this combination with some music when you get it and you're like, oh, I see what she means about dancing it. I'll try and make a video of me dancing it soon, so that if you're like, what does she even mean about that? But I think because you're all movers like me, that you'll do it and go, oh, I see what she means. You really can transition to this and transition to that, and I could do it. You can do it to any music that you like. I'd love to see you do it, but it also is a great workout. Thanks for joining me for the first of our sort of intermediate and advanced class augmentation videos, I think is where I'm going with this. Oh, I'm gonna have to walk up to the camera because the remote's in the pocket of the jacket I just threw off. Thanks, friends.